Hello everyone. It's been a long time since I made a video, so I decided to give you guys something good, absolutely free of course, and it's going to be doing with trading, ladies and gentlemen. Trading cryptos, some SMAs, SMMAs, the WMAs. I'm going to teach you how to set this so you can win, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, this is where I made my bid, and this is where I was looking to sell. So if I would have bought here, now you can see the indicator here. It's telling you when to buy and sell. If you follow this, you may not always win or get the exact bottom or get the exact top, but this is definitely an indicator that is very useful, because if you followed this, you sold here, look at this drop, and you would have waited, it would have bought here. It usually follows, see this crossover, this green crossing over the red, that's when it sells. The green crossing over the red, or the red crossing over the green, that's the buy and sell moments, okay? That's what a WMA and a SMMA. Now the WMA, I have it 144, and SMMA, I have it in a 5, okay? But you can see the 5 and 13 close. You can see that all here, okay? So let's say you would have bought here, and it would tell you to sold, you would have sold, then it would tell you to buy again, you would have bought here. Look at this, it's not telling you to sell at any given time during this huge pump. You would have made some big gains, because you would have definitely almost doubled. No, you would have doubled, if not close to doubling your money. At 2.2 all the way up to almost 4 a little over 4.0, right around 4.05, 4.06 here, as you can see. And then it's still telling you not to sell, because I think it's going to continue to go up, okay? That being said, this is YFI BTC on Binance. Keep that in mind. This is YFI BTC on Binance. This is a great coin. I like trading it. It's very volatile. It goes up, it goes down. I purchased it at 18,000. It went all the way up to almost 40,000 and went back down to 18,000, and now it's back up to 30-something thousand. It's amazing coin. I think you guys should definitely take a look at it. But again, you can use this strategy with any coin on the market. Again, you can do this with obviously coins that are consolidation phase, look, as you can see here. But if you would have followed it beforehand, let's just say, okay, let me follow this suit. Look, just take a look at here. Let's just start here. You would have bought around here or here. When you know it crosses these two red lines, it's not going to stay there long. That's what you need to understand. If it crosses these two lines on the very bottom, you know it's not going to stay here up, and you know it's close to the bottom. See, this is a great indicator. It's giving you an idea, saying, hey, this is already close to the bottom. It double, look, as you can see, a double bottom. So if you knew it was ticking here, it's not going to stay here long. Then you know you want to buy somewhere around here. Okay, this is the indicator. This is what it's supposed to do. And I'm going to show you how to search it and add it to your trading so you can profit. You can make easily I was making $150, $100 a day here and there. Sometimes it would take 2 days for it to sell. You know, now I'm moving up. You know, $150 to $200 every trade. You can make all the way up to $500 a week easily doing this, if you have the right enough capital to do so. But even if you don't have enough capital, you could work your ways up to that capital to get that $500, and then continue to trade all the 1,000 or 2,000, and eventually move up to a point where you're like, hey, I'm trading 5 grand, 10 grand now, and this has become very profitable. It takes patience and diligence. That's number one. It takes patience and diligence to hold these coins and to watch the market. Again, you don't have to sit in front of the computer all day. Just remember, you have to have these indicators and keep an eye on them. Because again, if you would have bought here, somewhere around this range, it told you to buy right here. You would have bought here, you would have sat, it would tell you to sell. You would have sold, it would have told you to buy. You would have been down just a little bit, but look what happens. You would have made all these gains right back, and they would have told you to sell here. See, I would keep an eye on these two lines as well as these two, okay? Because it looks like it was going to cross over here and it was about to drop in price, but it didn't. It didn't even touch it, and it went right back up. So you got to keep an eye on that. So there's a lot of different things. You got to keep an eye on the volume. You got to keep an eye on the indicator here as well, because this will tell you, this is like a relative strength index in a sense. When it's really red like this here, that means it's still in big bear moment. When it starts to turn burgundy, that means the trend has changed, and it's buyers now coming in. That's why it's turning burgundy, and the lines are getting smaller and smaller, and this is where you can make a buy moment, ladies and gentlemen. But as you can see, it's, again, nothing is 100% guaranteed, But what I could tell you is, if you follow this indicator, again, now let's just say the light green says, hey, this is bull moment. And then it turns a dark green, that means it's a reversal, trend reversal. But just because it's one candle that looks dark green doesn't mean it's going to be green all the way. So the next candle, remember, this is an hourly chop. So the next candle, the next hour, it turned back to light green. So that means you're going to continue to ride. And then once you've seen the trend change, like, oh snap, it's going down. Okay, the candle getting smaller. That means the bulls are getting weakened. And as you can see here, they weren't weakened for long. As you can see, it was only a little bit of red, and boom, back up. And as you can see, if you follow these indicators, ladies and gentlemen, you can make money. If not every day, every other day, every other week, give or take, depending on it. Again, I use the hourly charts. I don't like to use anything shorter than that. Occasionally, I be honest, I don't even look at the 30-minute or the 5 minutes. I don't look at it at all. Only hourly and up. Hourly, 4 hour, the daily. Okay, so that being said, let's just say you follow these indicators. And you knew, so you probably would have sold here because it's starting to get a little pumped, but it's not that far from this first red line. It's not that far. So you're going to be like, should I hold? And let's just say you hold, and then it told you to sell here. Great, you would have sold here. Look how far down it went. And then you would have waited to buy. You're like, okay, when do I get in? And you saw it bounce up. You're like, oh, I should have bought. But wait a minute, look what happened. And then the indicator says, buy now. Okay, this is where it tells you to buy. You would have bought here. Look at this huge pump. You're like, wait, and remember, it's not always going to tell you to sell or buy. But let's just say you reached here and you're like, well, it's kind of far from this first red line. It's kind of far. Usually there's going to be a boomerang right back down. So your judgment, you would have said, okay, let me sell here or close to here. When you see this red candle, it's kind of far stretched. This is like an elastic in a sense. If it reaches outside of this first red line or this first red line, if it reaches outside of it, it's going to boomerang back in. And if it reaches outside of here, it's going to boomerang back down. And just follow this. And then if it trades in here, you can make money in here, but you would have sold here and you would have waited. I would have waited. Or you could have followed the indicator and say, hey, sell here, you would have sold. Buy, it would have went up this high. You wouldn't sell yet. But again, the indicator tells you to sell here and then buy here. But again, use your own judgment because these indicators are not exactly on point 100% of the time. So keep that in mind because emotion is at play with individuals. And then you would have saw here. But again, if you would have followed this, almost, I would say 80% of the time, you would be not losing as much and you'd be winning more than you are losing. And that's what these indicators are for. If you would have sold here, look at this. You're like, okay, it reached outside of that first red line. You know what that means? It's close to the bottom. This is where you make your purchase. And if you would have sat on it, look, bang, now it's riding the waves. And in here, you're watching it work. You can follow the indicators, but at this time, this means it's consolidating. There's buyers and sellers. They're figuring out what they want to do. And then it would have told you to buy. Boom, it hit here. And then it sat around. Again, sell. Now we're at the point where it's like, okay, what is it doing now? So the last indicator was sell here. If you would have sold here, you still be making out. You don't buy any design. And look at the volume. Very, very minute. Look at the volume here. It's very small. There's nothing really going on here. This is XRP BTC on Binance, okay? As you can see, there's not too much going on here. So this is where you don't trade. You don't trade. You go to another coin. Ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. You go to another coin because as you can see here, and this is where you sell your coins. You come back and you find another coin that's doing this sort of the same thing. And then you're looking at indicators. Now you can pull up all kinds of coins. Let's go back here. Let's just look up Bitcoin. Actually, Bitcoin is following XRP, so I'm just gonna look up another coin. What's a popular coin everybody likes? Top 6, I would say Polkadot. I don't think they're even on here, to be honest with you. Let's go with ADA. ADA BTC. Okay, so we're gonna pull this chart up and I'm gonna pull a full feature chart so you guys can see. This is how I do my research, and I just look at coins and I'm like, okay, where do I go? And again, here's the same status. It looks pretty much like all the other coins, the major coins. A lot of indicates. These indicators are telling you you should have sold right around here. Cross these double lines. Once it crosses the top double lines, you want to sell it because it's gonna boomerang down, possibly boomerang down, but majority of the time it will because it's too far up. I mean, it's too far up. As you can see here, this indicator tells you. This indicator is telling you it's too far up, and as you can see, it's starting to go down. It's shading. And boom, it went down. And then here, okay, now it's turning into burgundy because the red's turning into burgundy. That means a reversal, a trend reversal. So instead of following this indicator where it's telling you to buy here, you would have bought right at the second burgundy candle on this one. That would have been right around, that would have been here. Let me see, just to make sure. Yeah, that would have been right around, give or take, right around this area, this range here. And you would have bought, boom, and you see the reversal, a little bit up. And then here we go. It's telling you to sell. You would have sold. You would have not bought back at all until, look at below the bottom red line, the bottom double red line. Once it reaches double bottom and it reaches the bottom line, this is where you want to buy, right around this range, because this is the close to the bottom as this coin is going to get. Now imagine if you had the capabilities and the ability to reach where the bottom is. What if you had the capabilities to understand where the top is? This is what this indicator does, ladies and gentlemen. It teaches you the bottom and it teaches you the top. Not 100% of the time, but if you follow it, you can see with your own eyes, it does work, okay? It works. Here it works. Look at here. It said it was the bottom. You would have bought here. You would have sold, I don't know, when it told you to sell here. And guess what? Reach below the bottom, double red lines. Okay, it's telling you to buy. You would have bought. And then it was a little bit of here. You probably would have sold here. You would have bought probably a little lower. Maybe just a tad bit lower. And look, you would have made profit. It passed the double red lines. You're like, wait a minute. This is where I'm going to sell. I'm not going to sell here. I'm going to sell here. Because you want to maximize your profits. Okay, so this is where you sell. It drops, drops, drops. It's telling you to buy here. Which I probably would have. I probably would have not. I wouldn't buy here because there's no really. It's in between the double red lines. So I would not want to buy here. I would wait. Probably would have bought here. Now it's telling you to sell here. But again, this is where it gets iffy because you're not sure where to go. All right. But look, you see the green line. This is the green line. It crossed over. That's sell moment. And obviously would have sold. There we go. Sell. Now we got to wait for this green line to come up, cross this red line. And this is where you want to buy. But you can see, as you can see, the double red lines are getting closer and closer and closer together. As you can see, what that means is the volume is getting lower and lower and lower. Okay, that's what that means. I mean, there's not a lot of money in this coin at this particular moment, but doesn't mean that you can't make money. Then now you're gonna wait for the volume to pick up. Once these double red lines start to split up, like farther apart, like they were here, and it starts to split up. If it gets too close, that means volume is going down. As you can see, it's going down, 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 down. And now it's a sell moment, so I would be patient and not do too much here. I would not hold the coin. I would sell it because the indicator is I would sell and just be patient and wait. Wait for the burgundy line. Wait for the burgundy to appear after these red. Okay, like this one here. Wait for the burgundy. Wait for the second burgundy line. So once this second burgundy line appears, this is where I'm going to put my buy because I mean the trend. Now it's not a guarantee because as you can see here. It was red, burgundy, red, burgundy, red, burgundy, red, burgundy again. So you don't want to be all confused and mixed. So you got to make a decision and you got to make it pronto. Again, but if you're winning 80% of the time, 70% of the time, then you're making money trading. You're making money trading daily and weekly, ladies and gentlemen. This is the deal. And you got to get on it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, and you can see the indicator will tell you. Okay, now there's moments, and you can see the downtrend is huge. Okay, this is a huge downtrend. Massive, but there's money to be made in between it, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. Just because it's a downtrend, it does not mean you cannot make money. Okay, just keep that in mind. That being said, what are the indicators? You're probably asking me. So let's open up the indicator area. So this is where you call indicators, okay, which is right here. Once you click on indicators, you want to type here. The first one will be the WMA, okay? Now the WMA, the one I have is the WMA STB. Oops. Where is it? All right, so look up WMA and just scroll down. You're going to find it. Here it is. WMA short-term bands. This is the WMA STB. WMA short-term bands. It's like Bollinger Bands in a sense, but it's the WMA STB. This is the one you want to pick. This is the one that's going to give you the indicator where you have the double red lines and the green and the red. This is definitely one you want to pick. So once you pick that, you want to choose it, right? So let's just say you picked it, and then you go to settings, right? So here it is right here, WMA STB. You want to go to settings because it's not set on the length. You have to add 144. I want you to add 144 here, okay? It won't say 144, so you just go in there, type in 144, and click on OK. That's said and done, okay? The next coin, the next indicator you're going to put, you click on indicators, and then you're going to type in SMMA. Okay, so you got SMMA 5 and 13 cross. This is this one right here. Okay, SMMA 5 and 13. Okay, this is the one you want to pick. And once you pick that, you want to make sure in the settings, if it doesn't, make sure the length is 5 and the length is 13 right here. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, and then you click OK. And that is it. Now you're, volume. The other indicators are volume. I always have the volume. VOL is not hard. You click on indicators and you click on volume, VOL, and just click on volume. The very top one. It doesn't matter because that's going to show you when the volume is coming in, how much people are buying, how much people are selling. It's very important that you do that, okay? Let's just say you knew this a week ago. Let's say right around here, you knew this chart was kicking. You learned the strategy I just taught you, absolutely free. And you're like, man, and you would have bought here. And you would have followed this exact same strategy. Look how much in profit you would be. Look at this. And then you would have followed it. And you would have bought. And you would have sold. And look at, I jumped in here. This is where I put my gains. And I knew it was going to reach here. You would have bought. I sat on it. It was consolidating, so I sat on it. I didn't sell when it told me to. I just waited a little bit. And then, boom, it blasted off. Now, it's getting close to the rubber band where it's going to shoot down, but it's so much momentum right now, it looks like it's going to continue to rise. But you don't want to buy because, remember, you don't want to sell yet because you're still holding from this buy. Remember, if you would have followed this strategy, you were holding from this buy. You did not sell at all, and it's continued to rise. Look how much money you would have possibly made at the 2.2, and it hit almost 4.1. You almost doubled your money. That's right. 1,000 could have been 2,000. 5,000 could have been 10,000. 20,000 could have been 40,000 or close to it. This is what I'm talking about. So again, very easy. I don't want to make this video long. But I wanted you to see the indicators, and then look at the indicator here. I'm using it here too. It's going to look a little different on Binance, okay? But as you can see, this is a fairly new coin. This is YFII. If you would have followed this, this is where your buy would have been. Because once the green crosses over the blue, see, remember, I got the WMA at 144. I got the SMMA at 5, okay? And the volume's right here. It's picking up. Now, if you would have made your purchase right here, look at it go. You could look at my sell. My sell's at 0.6490 because it's really long elastic. Now, I was sleeping when this hit this target. I didn't put the target until after I woke up. So I'm like, oh man, it already hit the target I wanted. Why? Because this was a previous high when it first launched on this coin. And you can see the big U coming up. Now, you could have sold here. Now it bounced down. I think it's going to bounce back up. It's going to touch it again, possibly even break it and hit 0.7. Okay, so there's a lot of different factors, but it's the same here. Okay, as you can see, I got my 0.127 BTC riding on this sell right around here, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the goal. You want to win, and you want to win with the right strategy. Okay, so let's look at a different coin. Let's go to my favorites, because if I click on favorites, you want to go to, I want to see YFI. Here we go. This is the one we were looking at. But see, if you would have followed this strategy, you would have sold here because the green crossed over. Look, I have my indicators going. Look, boom. Okay. See, I did a line and I did another line. I said, okay, it's about to change trend because this is too high. And so I put a line and I put a line, and the line kept going more that way. So I sold over here. I'm like, I'm selling right here. F that, because it looks like it's going to drop. And it did. It did drop. Now, I sold early. Now, again, as a trader, I've been trading for a while now. So for me, even if you, again, but for those that are new, or fairly new in the game, then follow this strategy. For those that are not, and could see that it was going to about the trend reversal, then this is where you would have sold. Okay? Because you don't know when the top is. Look at this. Bang, bang. You would have probably sold here. And you're like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. Yes, that's how trading is, ladies and gentlemen. So boom, boom, boom. Then I drew the indicator. It probably will touch this line again. So you could sold at the top. You will let it ride this line. Not this one. This one is that would have been the first candle. So you would not really understand where it's gonna go next. So once you saw it bounce off of it, that's when you draw the trend line. And then the second trend line would have came, and you were like, oh, it's gonna bounce off here. It did, and then bounce off here. And once it broke this trend line, that means a trend reversal is going to change. This is where you want to put your sell order. And then even though it went up a little bit, overall, it went down. And then you were like, wait a minute, it's crossing over. Let me sell. You would have sold here. It would have bounced down. You're like, ooh, that's a far stretch here. Maybe I would buy here. So let's say maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Let's just say you didn't and you bought when it crossed over. Made a little bit of money. Okay, and let me sell. You would have think to sell, but look, it bounced right off of the blue and right back up again. This is why it's never perfect, but if you follow the strategy, you'll most likely win, then you will lose. Because if you, again, you would have sold here, look at this. You'd have been like, yes, good thing I didn't hold this coin, because now I can accumulate more coins. And look what happens, close to a double bottom. When it gets like this, you know this is close to the bottom, okay? So this is where you want to buy, right around here. If you would have bought it, you would have waited. Oh, looks like it's going down again. Wait. Boom. And now you're in the money, okay? This is very simple strategy. I hope you guys use it. I hope it works for you. I hope you guys see the indicators. Make sure you add the volume. Make sure you add the stocks indicator. This is a stochastic indicator. It tells you when it's overbought and then oversold, okay? So keep it. This is very important as well. You want to make sure you have these two, the volume and the stochastic, on Binance, because Binance is different. But if you're using TradingView, then you can see it's different. It looks different than it does on Binance. Okay, so keep that in mind. But if you would have followed this strategy, it would work for you. For those that are not on Binance, I'm gonna leave my link in the description for Binance. If you like this idea and it's working for you, and let's say you make a little profit, you can always donate to myself just for sharing this for absolutely free. So I'm gonna add a link. I'm probably gonna add my Ethereum link down below after the video's done. And if you want to donate whatever you can, let's say you make some profit, you say, hey man, thanks for your help. You didn't have to pay for anything, and you made money. Go ahead and donate to the cause, because if everything goes well and the donations come in, I'm gonna continue to make these videos absolutely free, and hopefully you won't need to know anything else other than this, because this is where winners become winners, losers become losers. You leave emotion out of it, and you leave the indicators to put the work for you. Now, again, it's like I said, it's not 100%. You might lose some money, and you may win some money. But for those who stay diligent and patient, it's all to the success for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to add the links in the description. If you don't have a Binance account, I'm going to add that link in the description, as well as the donation link. If you guys feel you want to, and you guys happy with this actually new method of trading and it's working for you, go ahead. If you don't want to, that's not a problem. It's okay. Appreciate you guys. Have yourselves a wonderful day. It's 9/12/2020, and hopefully more videos to come. If you like it, if it's working for you, hit the like button, comment, let us know it's working. That way others can learn this strategy and hopefully make some good profits from it. All right, take care now, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.